You tweeted the Democrats leaked an intelligence.
They should be prosecuted.
Who specifically? Do we know who did it? Will you be able to find out?
They could find out. If they wanted, they could find out easily. You know, you go up and tell the reporter, national security, who gave it. You have to do that. And I suspect we'll be doing things like that.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey.
Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. And you try to kill our we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Hey, buddy, I'm waiting for somebody to go to jail. You got to put your hands behind your back. Yeah, somebody got to go to jail. I'm ready for somebody to be walked out, made an example out of, you know. Yeah. They say it's then Lindsey Graham come on there laughing. I think he pulled that hot dog out his butt and maybe he leaked something. They oughta, somebody ought to be walked out. Yeah. It could be somebody, it could even be somebody standing right in front of, I think it's somebody that somebody in the administration, somebody got to be walked out. I don't care who it is. Yeah. The hell with Congress. They ought to walk in Congress and put everybody in handcuffs. You know. But through all the destruction, through all the evidence, through all the scraps and pieces, we just keep winning. We just keep winning. And we're going to start this week off with wins, family. Yes, indeed. Trump says Democrats to be prosecuted for accusing them of leaking Iran intel. Yeah. Somebody ought to be thrown in jail, especially if you're a Democrat. I love when a Democrat gets arrested. Some of the most filthiest, dirtiest scums.
President Trump is accusing Democrats of leaking the low-confidence intelligence report regarding the damage done and the extent of it to Iran's nuclear facilities. The president posting on Truth Social, they should be prosecuted. Here's White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
And spreading all this fake news and spinning everything. And then they're feeding his cabinet members misinformation, turning them against each other. It's just a complete disgrace, man. I tell you. But the truth will shine in the light, y'all. The truth will shine in the light. Watch what I tell you. It's going to come out, man. And we just going to keep winning.
I know you're looking for this leaker. Is it your belief, I know you said earlier you're not sure if it's on Capitol Hill or at the Pentagon, but is it your belief that it might be in Capitol Hill? And how confident are you that you'll find this leaker?
Well, I'm not personally looking for the leaker. The FBI is looking for the leaker, so you'll have to ask them in the Department of Justice in terms of this investigation. But leaking top secret classified intelligence is a crime, and people need to be held accountable for that crime.
It's a lot of people that need to be held accountable for all kind of crimes. I mean, it's just crime after crime. The biggest scandals. The auto pen scandal, the biggest scandal in American history. People ought to be walked out in handcuffs. They say, Rick, sir, nobody's going to be walked out, sir. Rick, sir, nobody's going to be held accountable. It will just continue, sir. I tell you, man.
Yesterday, Senate lawmakers received a classified briefing from John Ratcliffe, Pete Hegseth, and General Dan Kane on the effectiveness of the mission. Both sides of the aisle still divided over the extent of the damage. Watch this.
Obliterated is a good word for me to use. Their operational capability was obliterated. It was highly effective. It is going to take time.
So some of them pages say, I don't know about Mr. I don't know about him. I think they ought to walk him out. I don't know about that fella. He seemed too excited right there. Lindsey seemed too excited right there. I ought to walk him out. I don't know. They ought to investigate them, put them in the interrogation room, ask them some questions.
Their operational capability was obliterated. It was highly effective. It is going to take time to get a final assessment of how much damage.
I think it's safe to say that we have struck a major blow alongside our friends in Israel against Iran's nuclear program.
Anybody who says we know with certainty is making it up.
The House will receive its own briefing later today, and we've got reaction right now. Chris, what do you say?
Yeah, anybody who has talked to an international relations major who recently graduated knows where a lot of these folks' loyalties lie, and that's who's staffing our State Department. And so while it's potentially possible that this is a leak coming from Capitol Hill, I think it's much more likely that we have folks within the State Department who are sympathetic to Iran, who hate America, who believe that we are doing irreparable damage to peace in the Middle East. It's all insanely bizarre, but that's the worldview that we're working with. We saw this where State Department employees were quitting their job and going to do glowing interviews on 60 Minutes and trying to advocate for what is effectively the pro-Iran position. So I think that's where the FBI and DOJ should be looking, is within the State Department with some of these younger staffers who are international relations majors from these Ivy League schools where we've seen the tentafadas going on for months.
Yeah, I mean, there's one more thing that you didn't mention. They don't want to have Trump have a success.
Right.
And they're against President Trump, John Lonsky.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, even if Trump found a cure for cancer, they would be against Trump.
Man, Trump can find the cure for cancer right now. Ain't nobody. These people ain't gonna. They not gonna celebrate, stand up, clap, rejoice, or be excited. They're gonna still try to say that he's the big bad orange man. That, oh no, it doesn't work, and he can show you that it works. Can show you that it cured, and they'll still won't believe it. No, you're only making it worse, sir. You're killing them off. You're not curing anything. Yeah, these people are a disgrace, man. Same ones who can't stand up and clap and be happy for a kid with cancer. These people are disgraceful scums.
Some reason it's over the top. You shouldn't be politicizing a situation like this one. My goodness, we should do our utmost to assure that Iran never develops a nuclear weapon. That's the last thing in the world we want to have happen. And there is no way in the world that we ought to be tolerating these leaks that could be to the detriment of what the United States is doing to see to it that Iran does not have a nuclear weapon. But as you said, and as Chris pointed out so well, that they're trying to hurt Trump, trying to find whatever they can do to take away from the apparent success of this particular mission.
Cheryl, what do you think?
Well, I want to pick up on what we heard from Senator Tom Cotton, and that is that this was a major blow to Iran's nuclear program, full stop. We can debate the semantics if you want to use the word obliterate or slow down. But, even Max Boot in the Washington Post this morning says, look at the bigger picture and how we have to frame this unbelievable mission and the unbelievable U.S. military and the might. This puts China, he writes, North Korea, Russia, and other hostile regimes on notice. Do not mess with President Donald Trump. He is not averse to using military power as long as he avoids lengthy entanglements. And even better news in all of this, Iran's response was so ineffectual. If this is the best Iran can do, then we should not be, at least in the near term, not worried about Iran. We'll see if the regime even is able to hold on to power after this, Maria.
I loved Kim Strassel this morning in the Journal. She writes, Trump bombs the leak machine. Trump bombs the leak machine, and goes on to discuss what President Trump did after the dust had yet to settle, she writes, on Saturday's Iran strikes, before CNN on Tuesday ran a story reporting a classified Defense Intelligence Agency report found they did not destroy the core components of the country's nuclear program. The administration shoved back hard, and it might be forgiven of a bit of PTSD, she writes. It's not an exaggeration to say the entire first year of Trump's initial presidency was hobbled by partisan leaks. And that's what this was.
Treason. People they ought to shut CNN down. You know, they ought to shut it all down. You know, the enemy of the people, the enemy within, the fake news media, Democrats, and even some Republicans. You know, the enemy within. We got to walk your butt out. Handcuffs. Yeah, they ought to go down there and clean house. You know. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Well, we got a big week. It's 4th of July coming up. And we're going to keep winning, family. I love y'all. God bless you all. Let me know what y'all think. And I will catch you on the next one. Peace and love, you guys.